in mortgages, there are no secrets.
Yeah, we'll
find everything.
That is their job, is to literally find it all out.
We are investigators.
How's the trip so far?
It's going great. Absolutely love it. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
And it's been fun hanging out with everyone.
It is. It is. What's your favorite part so far?
So far, I think it's just been hanging out with everyone in the evenings.
Okay. Love
really
that.
Like that. And like dancing last night on the rooftop was fun.
That was fun.
You even got up and danced.
I did. You know,
I've never seen you get up and dance. That was the first time.
Usually I don't. Usually I'm more just chilling in the background. So before we get into it, why don't you go ahead and share with people a little bit about yourself? And then how did you get into mortgage? Because we've all got a story there.
Yeah, so my name's Kristi Murphy. I've been in the mortgage industry for the last decade. A little about me, I'm from Texas. I also have a home in the Florida Keys that I go to when I can get away, and I rent it out, so I'm a real estate investor too. I love traveling. I love anything with a big body of water, ocean, big lake, anything like that. Put me on a boat and I'll have a great time.
I love it. And then how'd you get into mortgage?
It was the week of college graduation, and my uncle approached me. He owns a mortgage company, and he said, "Hey, Kristi, what are you doing after graduation? I have somebody about to have a baby. You want to come in and be the receptionist while she's on maternity leave?"
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it started. And while I was there, she left on maternity leave, and her child had problems at the time, like with the delivery, and had to stay in the ICU and have surgery and stuff. So she ended up being gone a lot longer. And then the one processor there ended up quitting.
Oh, gosh.
And I just got thrown into it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's like a lot of us. Like, it was
Yeah.
never really the plan.
Yeah.
Similar. My mom opened her company in, 93. And when you have a parent that owns a business, usually it's like you get a choice. You can either come work for me or you can go to summer school. And I was like, summer school's not for me, so I'll come work for you. And then just like by default, it's like, I guess we're doing this. Like,
Yeah.
And I find it so interesting. Like, everybody has like a different story. Like, most people don't plan to be in mortgage, but here we are.
It chose us. We didn't choose it.
And either you're going to love it or you're going to hate it, and you'll be spit out real quickly. So share with me, you have a little bit different of a story. You're heavy in real estate investing. You have a couple short-term rentals. How did that start for you?
So I wanted to go to the Florida Keys during COVID. And I didn't want to go like for a week. I wanted to go for like 3 months. So I found this place in the Keys, and I messaged them and I asked them, "Hey, if I come stay here, like, we'll pay the mortgage. I see it's online for sale. I'll take care of it. If anyone wants to see it, we'll make sure the house is ready to go. Let's work out a deal." So I got this beautiful home on the water, got that paid for. Then I was like, all right, now we got this house to deal with. How are we going to offset this mortgage? I put it on Airbnb, and it was a monthly rental. And the whole time we were gone, it paid for our house, our stay, whatever, in the Florida Keys. So it was just to offset the payment originally.
Yeah.
And then we came back, and then whenever we got back, we ended up making our house look better. And then from there, it kind of went further than that, and we ended up going on more trips, and it was just like we would live in it and then we'd go away, live in it, go away. And then we bought the house in the Keys. That's when it stepped up the game, and then we started going from there and having a short-term rental.
Yeah. So
full-time.
I have, I don't know if you want to call it a bad habit, or anywhere I travel to, like, as soon as we land, it's like, let's see if we could like buy a house here. Like, I'm always like looking, I'm like,
I have that addiction too.
Right? It is. It is an addiction. I mean, God, the amount of time I probably have spent looking at houses I'm never going to buy. Like, you can go down the rabbit hole with that.
That's what happened with me in the Florida Keys. And then I ended up at an open house, and I was like, I'll make an offer. And then while we were on the Sunset Catamaran trip that night, I got the call that the offer was accepted.
You're like, oh, we're doing this. Okay.
I'm like, okay, let me get a pre-approval. Let me make sure I even qualify. I don't even know, but I'm not going to let this fall through the cracks. Yeah.
Well, that ability to adapt and just kind of go for it without having a safety net necessarily, like, that can sometimes turn into really big wins. I know for myself, like, I don't have it, like, I don't have any systems. Like, I wish I had systems, but like, I'm just like, run, right? And so not that it's a great business
Like,
plan,
it'll
but
figure
having
itself out.
yeah, so having that as like a personality trait can really turn into really great business. So you're getting back into mortgage now.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah. So tell me, like, what do you want to do? Who do you want to serve? What do you want that to look like for you?
Yeah. So I started in October doing commercial loans. And that's been really fun and exciting, and a whole new side of it that I never knew how to venture in. And you have definitely been a huge mentor into helping me with all of that. But for mortgages in general, I love the real estate industry. Clearly, I'm obsessed with it. And I love figuring out different problems and all of that and finding the solutions for that and really working with people and helping to make their home dreams happen. That's kind of like my saying, like, let's go make your home dream happen.
Yeah.
And it's now been a decade. I took a break from mortgages, but I was still in the real estate industry working for a builder for the last 2 years. So,
which is great.
Yeah.
Like knowledge to have. Not everybody gets that knowledge. Yeah.
Whole nother section that I did not originally know about. But I've almost in the last decade helped 3,000 home buyers. I think it's like 2,800-ish.
Wow.
We'll just round
That's
it up.
a lot, right?
Yeah.
I
And
never
it was
helped that many people.
mainly mortgage, but it was mainly mortgage processing. So I'm trying to decide if I want to go and build my own mortgage processing company. I kind of started calling myself a buyer, like a mortgage concierge. Like, come to me and I'll help you find the right mortgage for you, whether it's commercial, whether it's residential. If you don't have a realtor, we'll figure that out together. If you don't have a loan officer, we'll figure that out too. We'll do it all. We'll shop it all. So
I think
I just want to help with that.
When you have that, like, openness, and then also I'm just going to take the steps, and then, God comes in, will do your plan for you. But you have to get in motion to let that happen, right? You can't just sit there and, like, a lot of times we were talking earlier about everybody usually wants to know, like, what are all those steps? They need the full plan presented. And it's like, that's not how this works. You have like a rough draft of this is what I think I want to do. And then you take the steps, and then, like, I saw Jesse, I think his last name is Eitzler. He's married to Sarah Blakely. She owns Spanx, or was the founder of Spanx, and now she's like sold it and stuff like that. But he said, like, the magic in your business is never in your business plan. And it was like, you can't predict being, on, say, the subway next to blah, 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 and that turns into something. Or, getting that redirection, or you're trying something and it failed, and then it's like, oh, but guess what? That's going to lead you here. And you can't plan for those things. You just have to get in action and then trust and have faith that stuff is going to come. What would you say in your business career, what have been those moments that, like, shifted your trajectory? Do you have anything where you're like, I thought I was going here, and then it was like, whoosh?
Even just meeting you at the short-term rental event, because I was not even planning to be a speaker, and the only reason why I got that is because I said yes to public speaking at a tiny little local event, and they were like, Kristi, you were so great. You should come be a speaker over here because we need someone on this panel. And then I met you.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
And then you helped me kind of like get back into it and get my groove back going.
Yay. So, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. What do you love about the community that we're building here?
I love that everybody is so kind and wanting to help, because you hear that there's like cliques and things like that. And I don't really feel like we have a clique. Everyone is so different and diverse. Everyone comes from different backgrounds. Everyone's building each other up. There's no drama. There's just fun.
Yeah.
It's
love
just
that.
fun. Yeah.
So if you like to have fun,
a good time all the time.
This could be a good place for you. Where do you see yourself in like 5 more years?
I definitely want to own some more properties.
Same.
I hope to start a family by then.
Okay.
I hope.
I'm on that same. Like, my baby years are over. The buy property thing.
Yeah. Be on a boat more.
Yeah.
Definitely going on trips, which I think everyone in my life is probably like, you already go on a lot of trips. What do you mean more? But I don't want to stop. And I feel like over the last year, I definitely have been living more and doing more of what I want to do, and caring less about all the details, all the control, and I'm just here.
Yeah.
I'm here to be happy, and if I'm not happy, then there's something wrong in this environment, and I need to tweak it. And pivot and go the other direction or whatever.
Yeah.
Or fix it.
What have been some tweaks that you have noticed? Like, you know what? This made a huge impact in my life, and I wish I would have known that one sooner.
I think I give myself like away too easily, and I needed better boundaries because I didn't have good boundaries. Like even with clients or in personal relationships, I was just constantly like give, and it's like, wait, who's giving back to me? I'm drained over here now. So I now know that like I have my own inner circle. I recognize my own worth now. And like, not that I am like guarded and I'm going to keep you away from me, but there's a boundaries in place.
There's a price
now.
of entry.
And I'll let you like come and use my resources and my connections and all that. But like at some point it's like, okay, wait a minute. You're draining the energy
like
here. We got some
reciprocity.
Yeah. Because it's all about like energy exchange. So there's time, there's money, there's just...
Yeah, I'm big on energy exchange. So I don't know if like you've ever heard of like human design.
Oh yeah, and I'm like a projector.
Okay. We're going to get a little woo for you guys today. And I don't know how much I believe in all this stuff, but I do find sometimes it's like, oh, well, that helps me kind of guide some stuff.
I read it and I was like, that's me.
That's you? Okay.
And you know what it says about me? I'm not meant to work.
Oh, okay.
I'm meant to connect people.
Okay.
And I'm basically meant to help understand others, help them understand themselves, and to connect them with the right people.
Okay.
And I kind of feel like that's my best thing. Because like even with real estate, I have people reach out all over the place.
And you're like, just how do I monetize
And I just always just connect them with somebody else. So I love doing that. And now I feel like I'm finally making money that way. But so I think it's me 100%.
That's very interesting.
Human design, look it up, y'all.
So I'm a generator, and like it's like there's part of it's like really like I can go like the long haul, but I need an energy exchange. Because if there's no like
need the plug.
Exchange going on, I'm out like real fast. But if I get positive feedback, I can like people are like, you seem like you're so busy. And I'm like, yeah, no, I do have a lot of stuff going on, but I can do that if there's an energy exchange, right? And then if there's not, it's just like, and not, right? I can't self-sustain without the energy exchange. So I love the fact that you brought that up.
I think mine's more like passion driven. As long as I'm passionate about it, I can go the long haul because it doesn't feel like work. But if it starts to feel like work, or like if you're just like overseeing me and all kinds of stuff, I'm like, back away. I need some space.
Same. I don't do real well under any sort of control or anybody telling me what to say.
Yeah.
Like when people are like, you need to, what? Don't like
initially
like that like you need to, and it, like my brain will be like, I don't need to do shit. Like fighter, right? They like huge opposition to that, which is interesting. I see that in my kids. Like my oldest is just like me. The youngest, she's like the easy one. Like you tell her what to do, she's gonna do it. The older one's a fighter like me, so it's very interesting to watch that happen. What would you say is like your greatest attribute in your business?
I think it is that I understand people. I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot of situations, but I always try to help understand where my buyer's coming from, where they want to go. And like, my thing is like, as long as you can be honest with yourself, you can be honest with me, and we can go from there. So if you're honest about your situation before we even go into it, I'm going to be able to help like guide you, protect you, coach you through it. But if you're not, and you end up hiding something and then it comes out later, might blow up the whole thing, because now whoever you're buying it from might not want to wait when you could have just been honest.
Right.
In mortgages, there are no secrets.
We'll
find everything.
That is their job, is to literally find it all out.
We are investigators, financial investigators.
So I always think about the business. I'm always like, it gives me a chance to like pretend to be a lawyer. Yeah. And like, I always wanted to be a lawyer.
I go to fight. And so, like, I love going to battle underwriters.
You're like, let me prove my point.
Yes.
So that's a good skill to have. What have been the limiting beliefs that the biggest limiting belief you've had to deal with over the past, like, let's call it 3 years? But what's a big limiting belief?
Even growing up, it's been longer than 3 years. I just think that I just never knew that I had what it took to do it on my own, and I never thought that people would take me serious, especially starting so young in the business. It's like, why would they choose a 23-year-old over the 50-year-old? Or, like, they can't even take me serious. And I feel like I over-explained to try to get my point across. But now it's just like, I'm myself, and you're either here or you're not. Yeah. But I feel like for the longest time, even in the last 3 years, until recently, I don't know what happened. I just like flipped the switch and voila.
Yeah, I love that. I have a limiting belief around like I'm really short. And so I always wear like high heels because I feel like I'm 12 if I don't put high heels on. And then I feel like nobody will take me seriously.
No, you're like cute and fun size.
I'm like, I have to be regular. I have to be regular height for somebody to take me like as an adult.
And I think another one would be that I'm so direct at times, or I've been told I come off wrong. Like, I don't mean to. Like, I have a nice heart. Like, it's kind, and I really think of everyone, but sometimes I guess it just comes off more direct than I should, and maybe I should work on it.
Well,
whatever.
There's also that quote, like, am I intimidating or are you intimidated?
And I think that's what it was.
Those are different, right?
I changed the room I was in. There we go.
100%. See, a lot of it's that. I remember, like, just always growing up. And granted, like, I'm like a bleeding heart sensitive. Like growing up, like getting off the freeway, there'd be like the homeless guy right there, and I would just burst out crying. Right? I remember like for the longest time as a kid, we would go like Knott's Berry Farm, and you would like throw pennies into the like on the log ride, and like it's like right there, right? There's like water, or like a fountain. You throw a penny and you make a wish. And I always wish for the same thing. It sounds so dumb as like a little kid, but world peace and no hunger, right? Like that's what I like. Not the new bike, but like bleeding heart sensitive. And so at times probably overly sensitive. So I've learned as like a coping mechanism a lot of times to put up a really hard exterior. And so growing up, like in college and stuff, everybody would be like, you're so intimidating. And I'm like, that's so crazy because I literally cry at everything. And so like, it's like defense mechanism, right? And like being able to be okay in your sensitivity and be okay in all of that and know that like, it's going to be like, and then also getting around other people that will accept you as you are and not try to change who you are so that you fit in. Like,
there's that saying about like the crow and the eagle, and the eagle always
I don't know this about the crow and the eagle. It? No.
Okay. So it's like the crow and the eagle were hanging out, and the eagle thought that like it wasn't as great as the crow because it was on the ground and it was meant to like soar and fly, and all the crows would hang around the eagle and bring it down, and eventually the eagle was like, I'm going to try flying, and it flew and the crows chased him and tried to knock him down, but then the eagle made it up further than the crows, and the crows ended up staying down. So it's like sometimes you are in the wrong place and you're meant to go on, and sometimes people might drag you down, but if you just keep pushing and pushing, you'll break that and step ceiling or whatever, and you can go and soar.
That's great. Have you heard the like indigenous fable around two wolves?
No.
Oh, it's so good. It's one of my favorite ones, and hopefully I get it okay. All right, so there's a like American Indian, like tribal, little boy, and he's asking his grandfather with all the wisdom, like, they're talking about life, and the grandfather says, there's two wolves, and one wolf, wants everything for you, and then like the other wolf wants all the bad things, right? So you have like the bad wolf and the good wolf and all this whole thing. And I'm butchering this story completely, just so you all know.
I think I did that to mine too.
What? I think I did that to mine too. Your story. But go Google it. Two wolves, right? And he like tells this whole thing about like, the one bad wolf like, wants to see you fail and wants to see, all the destruction and, wants all the bad stuff. And the good wolf, they want all the good things for you. They want to see you succeed. And he tells this whole thing. And he's like, and you have both those wolves in you, right? And then like the little boy's like, well, like who wins the battle between, there's a battle. That's right. I forgot. There's a battle between these wolves, right? And then like the two wolves are in you. And he's like, well, which one wins? And he said, it's the wolf that you feed. And it's like your mind, how we have like these like good and bad, like we have like the committee in our mind, you know, and it's like
so true.
One is for you and one is against you. And really the one that ends up winning is the one that you feed. And so are you feeding yourself positive information, or are you being your biggest enemy? And I know for myself, for the longest time, I was probably my worst enemy.
I love that.
Yeah, that also reminded me, like, there was like a shift that happened when I finally realized that nobody could hurt me because I was willing to say the worst things to myself than any, like, we're our own biggest enemy, right? And so I was like, oh, nobody can hurt me. Like, I say worse stuff to myself. I'm like invincible now, right?
And I always
like,
think like the worst of the situation. I'm like, oh, this is probably what they think of me when I said that.
Yeah, right.
Why did that just come out of my mouth?
Yeah. Learning to play that mind game is a powerful position.
It's like
to
they
be
never even thought that. It was all in my head.
Yeah. Yeah, I read this book called, is it The Untethered Soul? And it exposes you to like the committee in your head, right? And like a lot of times, like, you're unconscious to the fact that you even have that internal voice, right? And then you become unconscious to that voice going on. And you can drop back behind and watch, you know, yourself battle yourself, and none of it's real, right? It's like you're watching the conversation in your head, and like that ability to be able to drop back behind that conversation and not identify with it, and then allowing that to pass so that you can, you know, go out there and do some really great things in life.
Yeah.
Where do you see your mortgage career going? What do you want to do? What do you really want to do in mortgage? Or what do you want mortgage to do for you? Because sometimes we use
what has mortgage done for me?
What? Okay, what has mortgage done for you? I like that.
Okay. So I think mortgage for me has definitely opened up my eyes to all the possibilities that you can do in the real estate world.
Yeah.
It definitely, like, working with investors over the years taught me, like, oh, I can go buy this house, and after I get this house, I can get this house and this one and this one, and it's not going to matter to my debt to income ratio. I feel like it taught me just really like how to start flying and soaring and applying what some of my clients have. I feel like some of my clients have been my best mentors, whether they were the ones that were like the biggest challenge and pain in my butt, or if they were the serial real estate investor with multiple projects and everything. I've learned something from all of them over the years, and I feel like it's definitely helped me just better dealing with people, better in the industry, and going after my own dreams.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. It's, you know, every single file teaches you something new, and that's one of the great things about the business.
And being a better teacher for them.
Yeah. And the day-to-day is just so different, and then it's empowering, and you can accomplish so much. And I love the fact that, like, you notice that there's so many different aspects of the business. A lot of times we think it's like, oh, I'm just going to come in, I'm going to do like Fannie Freddie vanilla stuff, and I'm going to help people buy primary occupancy. And it's like, oh, but it's so big. Like, you could do commercial stuff, or you could do this, you could do that. You get to use your creativity in structuring files, and like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Amazing. I'm so glad to have you on this trip. I think it's wild how we met, and like, you continue to show up and be a part of my circle. So I'm so grateful for you.
I'm grateful that I get to be in your circle. I love being a part of your circle.
Thank you. Thank you. And with that, thanks so much, guys, for watching. Go check us out on social and stay tuned for all of our future events where you can join us at places like this.